National Parks Traveler. Postcards from the parks.
When you visit Hawai'i Volcanoes National Park, after you've gazed into the Kīlauea crater itself if it's erupting, you should make a point to hike the Kīlauea Iki Trail. Starting from an overlook near the Thurston Lava Tube, the trail goes down through the rainforest and out across a crater floor created back in 1959 by one of the most spectacular eruptions of the 20th century at the national park. It was an eruption that saw lava fountains shoot roughly 1,900 feet into the sky. So when we visited Hawai'i Volcanoes National Park, we headed over to the Kīlauea Iki Trail.
The Kīlauea Iki Trail heads down into a crater created back in 1959 by an eruption. The trail sets out from a nice, easy car park overlook and quickly descends downhill. And while we're wondering about all this downhill, we were also kind of concerned about all the uphill that we'd be ending the trail hike with. But it starts out really nice, going through some rainforest, lots of birds singing, interesting vegetation if you've never been to Hawaii, as we have not been, and some nice overlooks down onto the crater floor, which has us wondering what we bargained for since we set out after lunch in the afternoon, planning to hike across a black crater with no vegetation to shadow us. Coming out of the rainforest, we headed down into the crater. It was like going down onto an asphalt driveway almost. The black volcanic lava remains soaked up the sun and reflected it back, but it was just a surreal experience having dropped out of the rainforest and come down into this open crater created back in 1959. Just a wide expanse. You can see where the trail goes just because everybody hiked that way, and a lot of people hiking it in the mid-afternoon along with us. Although I'm sure in the morning or early evening it'd be much more refreshing, but it's just a phenomenal experience to be down inside of a volcanic crater similar to one that's being created next door at the main Kīlauea event. We survived the march across the bottom of the crater. It's really quite fascinating. They've got these cairns, these huge cairns made out of broken up pieces of lava to help you stay on the trail and not get lost, which is really easily done. If you spend some time just looking around the landscape, there's really a lot of life coming back. There were some orchids and some of the tree vegetation finding footholds in the cracks of the lava. Fortunately, that's behind us now, and we're heading back up through the rainforest to the trailhead.
Once you return to the trailhead, depending on the time of day, you can cross over the road to the Thurston Lava Tube, which native Hawaiians refer to as Nāhuku, and hike that trail. Or, depending on the time, visit the steam vents a little west of the visitor center on Route 11, or head back to your lodging to get ready for dinner. Now, perhaps the best time of day for this hike, which could take a couple hours or so, depending on how much time you spend exploring the crater floor or the surrounding rainforest, would be early morning, as you'd catch many more bird calls in the rainforest than we did at midday. And it'd certainly be much more comfortable hiking across that black crater in the early morning sun than in midday under a full sun as we did. For The Traveler, this is Kurt Repenchek.
National Parks Traveler is a 501c3 nonprofit media organization providing daily editorial coverage of national parks and protected areas. Traveler's coverage is made possible by reader and listener donations. Visit us at nationalparkstraveler.org.